Hello. Hey.
How you doing, Kelly?
I'm doing good, Todd. Welcome, everybody coming on in. We have an announcement today of something coming up just within a week. And Todd, you know all about it.
Oh, I tell you what, I am so pumped, so excited for this. It's called EVP Explorations, and it's new, yet it has a story behind it. A lot of folks that have followed Haunted Voices the past couple decades, it's that reborn. Is what I mean. Haunted Voices had to be retired. What this is a gateway for everybody, a gateway for everybody that's interested in EVP, seasoned. If you're a veteran, it doesn't matter. Beginner, hey Keith, it doesn't matter. It
Jennifer.
welcomes everybody. Everybody can learn. There's study guides. There's so much involved with this, and it's where electronic voice phenomenon began back in 2002, 2000 between 2002 2004 when Haunted Voices began. That's when all we had were emails and message boards and things of that nature. People could share files, upload their EVP, and get a good straight answer. Hey, John, a good solid answer. Something that people can can write home about. Say, hey, this was a good capture. This was validated by so and so as well. It's a class A, what have you. Hi, Jennifer. It's a class A, whatever. And I wanted that again. And there's places on all over the internet now where you can do that with the help of technology, like this, like Facebook, like a new place I'm learning about called Discord, where we're sharing the EVP files. So it's kind of cool how technology today is helping a very old method from yesterday, which is what the show's based on, and that's analog recording and digital
Absolutely.
recording.
Absolutely.
Mixture of both.
If I may ask, with Haunted Voices, like, where did you start to, I guess, lead off that allowed you to create something new then for a new chapter?
Haunted Voices, it was founded to talk about, of course, electronic voice phenomenon. However, it kind of steered into Sasquatch. It steered into UFO. It steered into metaphysical even. It took a turn and it steered away from electronic voice phenomenon. Sorry for the emotions and things.
No, that's great. I think it adds to it.
But anyway,
It really
the
does.
the the um the premise behind it is the same. Haunted Voices just kind of steered away. So I had to retire it and refocus myself back into electronic voice phenomenon. I'm jumping back into it after so many years of retiring from it and kind of putting it on the back burner. I realized what a great hobby it is for me. I just don't want to dive in, of course, and become that guy that won't stop, that's constantly doing it, doesn't become a hobby anymore, that kind of guy. I want to drift into it. And that's kind of why I had to end one to start another, if that makes sense. I couldn't do them both. Couldn't do them both.
Sure. But you're adding everything from Haunted Voices to EVP, maybe? Or, well,
Yeah.
parts? Tell me. Tell me.
It's going to be all electronic voice phenomenon. That's what this is based on. Now it's EVP is a huge umbrella. It's under ITC, or instrumental trans communication. It falls under that. It's just a part. It mainly focuses on voices, not necessarily noises, although sometimes you do get them. It's mainly going to focus on vocals, such as intelligent vocals or residual vocals. How these vocals are created. Are they imprinted on magnetic tape? Are they imprinted by static electricity onto something else? We don't know. So it's going to be about discussions with that. We've got a huge group Facebook group. It's growing. It's people are chatting over there. There's all kinds of different debates going on, and it's good, clean stuff. It's not spammed. It's not flooded. It's got great information. It's got study guides where people can learn all about electronic voice phenomena. So, and all you have to do is just search EVP Explorations, and all these things will pop up for you. But that's what the transition is, Kelly. It's I've taken hard voices, I've kind of smashed it in a little ball, and I've squeezed out electronic voice phenomena and started this one. I had to. One of them had to go. I mean, I've got work. I've got, of course, my Carrie. I have to balance time, and I couldn't balance both. There's no way.
Well, I think that it's a foundation for you to have the creative outlet and have like that real part of yourself be present. And you kind of, I think the rest writes itself, because I don't think you saw yourself maybe 2 years ago doing what you're doing now. And that's going to be the same in 2 years.
Yeah.
So this gets birthed from ethers.
Yeah. Those that know me know I'm a one day at a time kind of guy. I go with the flow. I kind of have to, because you never know where I'm going to be led. So I've got to stay right there, right on that path. And I can't steer away from it too much. So having this kind of transition the way it is, hey, Wild Bill, the way it is it's balanced, and it brings peace to me. It brings joy. So that tells me it's right. And I have good support. Of course, Sherry's behind me. I don't know why, I don't know how, but she is. And because I get a little crazy when it comes to this field, Kelly. It's a big passion of mine. And I just want to teach it to other people. And I'm tired of people making a mockery of the whole thing, or commercializing it, or just not getting back to the basics, taking a mixture of two different compounds and throwing them together, and they're not making sense because people don't know they're separate. So it's kind of bringing people back to the basics, getting our community back in line a little bit, maybe back to the basics of research and so forth, and not so much followers and film crews and things. It's not going to make a huge difference, but I think it'll make some kind of difference to the community. I really do. It's a big community, and right now they're being led astray by a lot of different things. So they're forgetting the big picture. A lot of us are. We're getting caught up in the now and technology, and we're forgetting simple things like our clients, or how to react with them. So hopefully this just kind of brings everybody back down to earth, to where we have that one common goal, is their life after. That's our goal.
Like, this is paranormal research, like a specific kind of specialized field in paranormal research, and it helps to start conversations or produce evidence that there is something beyond the physical, and there's spirit, and there's an afterlife, and having like ethical protocols and inclusive things to further understanding of who we are. And so if you can you talk about like the community that you would want to help lead for EVP, lead for paranormal research, and what you would like to see, I guess, people coming, what type of people or people that you would like to have come be a part of the EVP conversation. Like, talk about
absolutely. Some of those. Yeah. I mean, the beauty of it, Kelly, everybody, it's for anybody, all ages. What I really want to hopefully impact, I want to leave, I should say, give and leave this newer generation with some old school techniques and methods, and see if they can use their extreme intelligence, which they do have, and decipher some of these messages. I want to impact the young community as well. They're important. They're the next generation coming in, so it's a matter of time before we're out and they're in. So it'd be nice to have some of these other methods in there for them to carry on and try, see if they can figure them out, not just let them die, from the 50s. Pick up that work, continue it. That's hopefully what we can impact.
Absolutely. And you said some of the show's going to be like back to basics.
Yes.
So not that we want like spoilers just yet, maybe, but like, what are some of the things you're excited to talk about on the surface?
I'm pumped to, first of all, get out some of the equipment,
Nice.
the older equipment, not necessarily this new stuff, these ghost boxes and things. That's ITC. Yes, that's not EVP. EVP are voices, digital recorders, analog recorders. We're going to be talking a lot about those, the old school stuff, and how it still works, how the methods are applied to it, how magnetics work, how maybe static electricity works with these machines, with these devices, how the spirits are attracted to them, what are they afraid of. We're going to cover protocols, methods, all these different things. There was a study guide I wrote in 2004, and it's posted in our public group. But there's a study guide in there from start to finish, how to get started, how to upload them to your computer, the whole 9 yards. This show was designed to be a series, and I thought it was going to have an ending, but it may not. As writing goes on, it may not. Because there's so much involved with it. So I'm pumped to hopefully get some of these older methods that have worked in the past out there to a younger generation so they can carry them on.
For sure. I mean, I'm
that's excited.
The main goal. I'm excited to hear about some of the methods because I'm definitely not an expert when it comes to that side of researching spirit. And I just really want to quickly say hello to everybody like Keith, Sophia, John, Jennifer McCormick and Rose, Fran, Arnie, Teresa, Michelle, Wild Bill, hey. Another Lisa, Alexander, Steve, Heidi, Chip, everybody coming on in. Thank you so much. Really quick, I'm gonna go to Old Bill's comment, but Jennifer's making me laugh. Thank you, Jennifer. Jennifer's always
yeah.
Shout out to Jennifer. My cat is I just came back from Illinois, so my cat's very attached to me. I have more than one.
Very needy right now.
Very needy right now. And so I have the door closed and he's freaking out because he's like, where are you? Why can't I see you? And I didn't know if that was picking it up. So sorry if you have there's a distressed cat in the background only because he wants attention. He's very loved.
Just attention. Everything's fine.
That's right. And so Wild Bill, I love this. So for you, Todd,
yes.
He said, I'm old school. I still use divining rods or divining rods.
So do I, Wild Bill. So do I. And so does Sherry. Those are Sherry's favorite tools or dowsing rods. My opinion, that's where it all started. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. And it is a great communication tool. Divining rods. Absolutely. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm glad somebody's still using them out there. They work.
I love them too. I don't have them, but when someone brings them, I'll be like, let's go. Let's play around with this.
They keep things simple. They really do.
I think so. Let's see here. Steve, some of the old school methods of recording possible ghost voices were done on reel-to-reel records. Speaking of old school.
Yes, reel-to-reel recorders. That is, I wish I possessed one. It's coming soon, hopefully. That is how I was taught. Sarah Estep, just her reel-to-reel, she talked every morning to spirits on a reel-to-reel recorder. It uses magnetic tape.
Oh, wow.
Cassettes were after, 8 tracks, then cassettes. But cassettes, you could record in a similar way, using the similar method, using the magnetic tape going across the recording head. And that's how a lot of people believe the EVP is captured through magnetism or static electricity generated through there.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's why it's a little pricey these days to use analog, but you can pick, I mean, you can pick one of those up in a secondhand store. They're all over the place. I've got a link. If people want one, you can get one for $26 on Amazon and get started. It's got everything you need. So it's you don't have to go out and buy which they're nice. I have a ghost box myself, but it serves its purpose for what it is. This is different. This
Yeah.
is an old method that's tried and true. This is how EVP was discovered back in the 50s, was magnetic tape, reel to reel recorders. If it isn't
Wow.
broke, don't fix it.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's fascinating because um, being a medium and learning about energy, you start to feel. Some teachers teach this too as well, but you start to feel that your field expands and changes
Hmm.
when you are with spirit, and it actually grows or it actually merges with other people's auras. And so, yeah, it has to do with electromagnetics, absolutely,
Something, yeah.
and fields interacting. So it would pick up on the device that records, you're saying this
And
magnetic
it,
impression.
right. And what it is with most people and analog or magnetic tape is, especially now, they're a little pricey. You get 5 of them for $11. That's a little pricey. Um,
Like a
and the
cassette
problem is
like
you can
this,
only
but it's not. So where
uh,
what describe it? You get 5 of what for $11 so I can understand, because this is all new to me.
cassette tapes.
Oh, okay, cassette tapes. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you get 5 of these for say $11. Well, you can only use one side, and you can only use the tape one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're and with analog recording, you get less EVP, but they're more clear, more pronounced. So you're sacrificing that as well. So some may say it's wasteful. I feel it's not. It's worth its weight in gold because of the way different ways it captures. So some may say it's an expensive hobby, which it can be if you do a lot of recording. But if you go to known locations, if you go to places such as that, where you can increase your activity, your chances, it's less wasteful. I try it. I mean, I have to get more tapes myself, but I try it as often as I can. Sherry and I have been going out here a little lately, doing some recording, getting back into it. So the beauty of all this, I've been doing this a long time, Kelly, but I've forgotten so much of it. So I'm going to be learning right along with them. I'm learning all kinds of new methods that people have tried since I've retired. So I'm still catching up. There's so many different methods out there, and I'm trying to adapt to them. So it's a lot to absorb, but the community's large. It's a good community, and it's bringing everybody together. And that's what I enjoy seeing, or people putting their minds in there, putting their soul in their research, getting it out there, making it valid, more valid uh, for the community. Exactly. No experts whatsoever. None. Anybody that says that, run because it's just not. In order to be an expert, you have to know all, be all. Mm-mm.
I I agree. I mean,
There's no absolute.
there's experience, but to call yourself like,
Sure.
like I am this level, um, that's, yeah, you get into some odd territory there. I mean, if someone's been doing it for you've been doing it for 25 years, I'm going, I have no problem saying
Yeah.
his expertise. I have no problem with
Lost
it.
my hair. It's
but
been a
but
while.
how long have you been doing it? Even though we're very humble with it and we don't know, we're collecting information. We just are honest about what we get. I think some of the best mediums, they're very humble too. Like they're like, we never know what's going to happen. We just use our experience and the best of our abilities as we meet kind of this moment, right?
Yep.
But how long have you been doing paranormal research?
24 years.
24 years.
24 years. Right at the end
now.
of 2001, 2002, I got into it. So close to 25.
25.
Because I was a diehard skeptic beforehand. I didn't believe in any of it.
It's interesting because you've told me when you were a skeptic, you were actually doing research.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just
which is
even before you went professional.
It's the curiosity. I was doing it, but I wasn't supposed to be doing it. That's being a devout Catholic back then. You don't talk about those we don't talk about those kinds of things. Come on. Everybody talks about those kinds of things. Everybody wants to know, and people want to communicate, so give it a shot. Get out there and try. There's great ways to do it, and it's not as hard as you think it is. It's not that scary either. It's a little weird, Kelly, but it's not that scary.
It's not traditionally scary, I would say.
Yeah.
It's really not. It's really not. No, I don't think. I mean, granted, you could have the most unhaunted house, and if you told me to go in there at like 1 a.m., I'd just be like, I'm kind of not digging maybe this as much as other people should right now. I think I'd be a little scared. But right, I'm not scared of because something's gonna happen to me, like with my imagination of, I'm stepping foot into the unknown. I think it's a lot more of, oh, that's interesting, that's fascinating, and then you pull yourself out of that environment and you pull yourself away from the situation rather than you just become it. You can't stop. But I think some of that is more so passion than just the pure energy of what's happening at a house.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. And that's what motivates you, is that passion, is that not knowing, is that curiosity. That's what keeps me going anyway, is, do I know at this point, doing this for so long, that there's life after death? Of course. There has to be. With some of the things I've seen, heard, witnessed, there's something going on out there. But what keeps me going is I want to know why it's going on here. Why are we seeing this? How is this happening? And that's what keeps driving me forward. And it seems the more active a location is, the more questions it brings up. And it's just a snowball. So it's a very secure hobby to get into because of its rabbit hole. It's hard to find any absolutes.
Yeah, it's I mean, this is a fair statement. The scariest thing is it's going to bend your mind and make you question reality, and you got to have a good head on your shoulders.
Yes.
So you bring up a really solid point, Wild Bill.
Yeah. You visit to the bed itself.
Brings up a
and
really
true.
solid point.
You can drive yourself nuts trying to figure out how this happened. But when you get enough people together and you see, hi, Courtney, and you see people making sense of things that you never could make sense of, it's starting to make sense, at least. But that's the problem. Once it makes sense, another hole's discovered, there's another rabbit hole. So it's always going to bounce. I don't think we're supposed to know. I don't know if we'll ever find out. But it sure is fun trying. It really is.
I agree. Wow, there's like a lot of enthusiasm in the comments. Wild Bill is talking about he was raised in the paranormal world by his grandmother Cherokee, and he uses digital and analog machines, and he has a 6-track reel-to-reel.
Yes.
So hey, you're lighting up.
Oh yeah.
I found out that analog will pick up things that digital will not. I
Mhm.
usually run both recorders side by side when I investigate. I am no expert. I'm just knowledgeable of the field. I have been in it for over 40 years now. Wow.
Yes. That's what
Salute.
we want. Now see, and it's guests like that we will have on the show. Their schedule. We're going to be talking about these kinds of things with other people as well, other researchers in the field. I'm an old what's called EVP specialist. I'm sure Wild Bill knows about him. That's my thing. You give me a photo, I'll put it up to my ear to see if it makes a sound. I'm not into photos or anything like that. I'm into audio. I'm into the vocals. I'm into intelligence. I'm into to seeing if it is intelligent or if it's residual. No one knows, but we got to figure some things out here, and we're only going to do it by getting out there and recording and talking to whoever we can, that's willing to listen and respond. Just be respectful about the whole thing. It really is that simple.
Be respectful as everybody goes down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, and it's easy to get out of hand because in this, yeah, I did, Jennifer. It's easy to get off topic in this field because so many things bounce in so many different directions. When you're out there at an active location, your mind's going 10,000 miles an hour. And unlike mediums, which I solely believe in, of course, I have to rely on tools and equipment of a mechanical nature. So that kind of puts a damper on a lot of things. I can't go by intuition. Sometimes I go by my gut feeling. Hey, this looks like a decent place. This feels like the right place. Other times I go by, okay, this place has a pretty decent size EMF signature from it. So this may be a good place. There's some activity here. So, you base it on readings as well. It just depends. The situation dictates, really. But that's the beauty of the whole thing. That's the fun of it, is discovering what works best, what's the best situation to do it. And that's what we're all trying to figure out, when and where, can we do this to make it easier? I don't know if it's going to be easier. It's always going to be difficult, I feel.
I think when you're breaking things down honestly and you're just coming in from a place of curiosity, you can't help but win. And I think you
Mhm.
you stated the intention for the show and just like your passion very, very well. You're like, let's see what we can get out of this. Let's see
Yeah.
what happens. Um,
Yeah.
and and you're gonna learn so much along the way. Everyone together, you have 25 plus years of, I'm gonna say 24 years plus. I'm giving you credit for before before you officially started. Um, but you have 24 plus years under your belt. Plus, you're going to be reawakening aha moments and people bringing you your stories that maybe you've told them along the way to like respark, and also
Yeah.
new stories where you're like, wow, I've never heard of that, and I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping it's going to be a home run. I'm hoping it helps people. That's the biggest thing of all, is that it helps other. Hey, Michael, it helps other people learn about electronic voice phenomenon, but also use it. Get out there and use it. Step by step guides, the whole 9 yards. It's all available for them, free of charge. There's no reason in charging for that. I didn't in the past, and I'll be damned if I do it now. And those guides are up there in our group, EVP Explorations. Head over there; they're in there. You can download them. There's just
That's on Facebook, right? You have like a
yeah,
Facebook group for all this.
yeah. It's a Facebook group called EVP Explorations Group, and oh, do you think it's a good idea to get opinions from different people? Yes. Yes. Yes, Steve. That is a good practice. The thing with EVP classification, and that's something my producer Mark and I are going to be working on is a different classification system too. But that was created, the ABC system. It was extremely simple. Sarah Estep herself created that. The A being clear, crystal clear, you can understand what the voice is saying. The B being more mumbled, yet you can hear some of partial fragments and so forth. And a C, those are more your delicate whispers. But to decipher and classify it as a class A, back in the day, we used to gather at least four people, and they
Hmm.
would do what Steve said here, write it down on a notepad what they heard, and then it would be put away until the end, and then you put it together. And if those four people agreed on what that file said, that was a class A. So there's different ways you can analyze them these days and classify them. But that was an old school practice. So yeah, that's what he was talking about there. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Brought back some memories.
I mean, that's cool how there's, protocols, and honoring people's like gut hunches or intuition within the group,
Yeah,
because there's just room for so much discussion. I think
it's so open for discussion. There's so much out there to discuss. And when you get the right like-minded people together that share the same passion to discuss it, really good discussions come from it. And you actually learn from them. There's no drama in there. In the group, those are moderated, those are weeded out. If there's any kind of drama or anything like that, we just don't let it go by. We pick through that. No one's going to be bullied, abused. Everybody's going to be respected when we discuss this, because it's a very sensitive matter to a lot of people. So it's something that you have to approach lightly. You know, it it does. It affects a lot of people differently. So having um, the group really helps share the information, get it out there, raise the awareness. Here's some stories, here's some different methods, some actual captures, different things of that nature. And the show is designed to expand upon those, to take that study guide from 2004 and expand upon it and see how far we've come since then, as far as technology or discoveries. Just to recap the past couple decades and see if we've actually gotten anywhere.
for
That's
sure.
the mystery.
I want to make sure we get some of these. You have a lot of questions coming in, and it's great. I want to cover that it's Friday nights, 8:30 Central or 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be a weekly show, or we're just gonna vibe it how it comes in. We're really excited to have Todd, and before we go, let's get some of these questions. So,
Okay.
Wild Bill, excuse me, is asking, what software do you use to break EVPs down to different frequencies?
I use Adobe Audition. Adobe Audition has, because I believe less is more. The less you do to these files, please, folks, the less you do, the better. Um, use noise reduction lightly. Those of you that do use it, be very careful. You can do um, some serious damage with that, and it really distorts it. But I use Adobe Audition, and you can actually see um, if you've done it long enough. You can look at it and you can tell that's an EVP capture because it looks different. A voice like ours is going to have like fossil prints almost. It's going to look
Hmm.
very fossilish. Whereas spirit vocal is more solid. It's delicate. Um, it doesn't have those prints, yet it's loud and distinct. So that's the strange part. In Adobe Audition and the Spectral View, you can actually see those EVP captures and how they're different than, let's say, a human vocal. So
Okay.
you can test to see if it's a false positive or not that way as well. All kinds of little tips and tricks.
He says, I use Audacity.
Audacity
Um,
is a great program.
Paranormal Rockdown says hi. Hello.
Jamie Lynn, Paranormal Rockdown. Yeah.
Hello, welcome. Excellent. Now, Christopher is asking, do you like working with mediums on investigations? No offense if you don't.
Yes, 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 and yes, I do. I think they are essential. I really do. And I wish more investigators and researchers would use them. I think, I'm not saying take them along like a tool like you would a digital recorder. You guys aren't tools, but it's a tool that you have. And it's tools that we use as well. It's just and for me it saves time. And it's better, I feel, than my gut feeling sometimes to have a good seasoned medium beside me that says, okay, there's a little girl sitting over there in that far corner. You may want to go over there and talk to her. That's a pretty good damn hunch. People need to take advantage of those hunches, whatever you want to call them, and actually act upon them, because I think it's real important for mediums to be involved in investigations. I really do.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating because it's just people using various tools going, look over here.
Yeah.
Feel over here.
I mean, I'm out there with a meter. And she's sitting right there. Go over there. And it just makes sense. And, I'm not saying it's 100% accuracy and so forth on either of these. It's all, at this point, no one really knows for sure. There's no absolute data. There's no pinpoint data, just personal experiences mostly. So why not? How's it going to hurt having a medium on an investigation? It's not going to hurt anything. It's like, would you use batteries in your devices? Well, yeah, okay, then try that. It's the same difference, really. It is, and I use the word lightly. You guys aren't tools. It's a tool, just like any other tool in an investigation. I think it's important.
And Michael says, "I'm just a tool." LOL.
I knew it.
I thought that in him as soon as you mentioned it. I'm like, knowing Michael, Michael, say
coming
that
from him.
Paranormal says hello. It's Chris, Lisa.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris.
Well, I don't know. You know Chris and Jamie. And Lisa is saying hi.
Hi, Lisa. Oh, I can't wait. She's coming on too. Her and Nicole. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I got a ring-a-ding-ding in the corner.
Thanks, Lisa.
Yes, and then we have Steve. Absolutely love the show tonight. I need to run. Hey, he's in sync. This is a teaser for what's to come. Please, I'll have Todd. Are there any final words you kind of want to let people know about EVP Explorations before, in a week from now, you go live?
Yeah, next week, January 3rd, 8 p.m. You can watch it right here, sacredspiralnetwork.com. You can watch it there, several YouTube outlets. There's all kinds of different promotions out there for it, so keep an eye on those. Join the group. I can't stress it enough, guys. Join the EVP Explorations Facebook group. It's a great place to gather. It's a safe place to gather. So head over there, and you may screw up and learn something. It's a great place. It really is. And just hang out and hope for the best here with this, because we're going to be going back in time for a while. It's going to be a blast from the past. I think the community needs, and some kind of way, maybe deep down wants. We'll see.
And maybe there'll be a live show in the future. I don't know. Michael's bringing it into existence. He said, I love some How to Investigate with you sometime. Well, we have myself, Todd, Deidre and Christina are local. Michael, come on down. We could, that could be reality. We know a lot of people in the area with the Illinois connections.
We can make it happen. That would be a blast.
That'd be awesome. It's not as difficult as one would think, actually, either.
Just takes a little time and planning.
It just does.
EVP Explorations.
Check it out. And in a week, you will see Todd live. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. As people are asking where we're located, I'm located in Orange County, and Todd, you're located
I'm in Robinson, Illinois.
Robinson, Illinois. But we get together and do stuff online or however we can, right?
We do.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody. Take care. See you soon. And Todd, I'll let you guide us out.
All right. Hey, I'll see everybody next week, Friday, January 3rd, 8 p.m. Central. Just search EVP Explorations, Sacred Spiral Network. You guys will see it. See you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.